Previously, the group, minus Carxus, who had stayed behind, took advantage of their trip to the Astral Sea to rest for the night. Everyone who had Greater Restoration, or in Arian's case, Wish, cast various spells to bring everyone's exhaustion down to no more than 1 level. The clerics also cast Dispel Evil and Good on several people who had been prone to being affected negatively by the Abyss, although there was no way of knowing just who had something affecting them and who didn't. They also took stock of where they stood when it came to diamonds and other important spell components. Aerith cast Gesh? However the fuck it's pronounced, on Zero, giving him a command not to run from the group, or leave them, or try to leave the Abyss without them. Zalar resummoned Hubert. Aerith then had a minor breakdown, considering her husband had just died and been resurrected. And then Zalar came up with an idea, much to the poor DM's horror. It was decided that the next morning, Arian would use Wish to cast Simulacrum to create a second Zalar, one who had a 9th level spell slot. Then Zalar would do the same to create a second Gwei. Did I mention the poor DM? Ugh. Then the group settled in for a hero's feast, and they rested properly for the first time since they left Androlin. When they woke up the next morning, everyone's exhaustion was gone. Arian and Zalar went through with their ridiculous simulacrum plans, while Aerith used Regenerate to regrow Iridian's missing arm, which he had lost during the fight the day before, where Arian had been killed. Then a powerful entity who shall remain unnamed, who owed Poppy's goddess a favor, created a bright green archway that led them back to the room in the Abyss where they had left the night before. There was no sign of Carxus. The group quietly moved forward through the tunnels, eventually finding a gargoyle-like statue. Zalar immediately cast Dispel Magic on it, which turned out to be problematic when it soon became clear that he'd dispelled the magic that made the gargoyle move out of the way, after they solved the riddle that it posed to them when they got closer. They had to get creative when it came to moving it after that. They eventually moved past it, finding another room with a small table in the center of it, a gavel sitting on the table, and carvings of various demonic entities on the walls. There was a riddle carved into the wall over the door in the room. One among many is innocent. Strike true, and the way forward shall be opened. Saris eventually realized that the door, which was made of metal, was essentially acting like a mirror and showing their reflections, meaning it was the door they needed to hit. Gwei hit the door of the gavel, opening it so that they could move forward. They eventually reached a large, open, natural-looking cavern with a large bridge going over a river of lava. There were 2 large statues on each side of the bridge, and on the other side of it was a spiral staircase going upwards. Everyone made their wisdom saves, all of them passing, just barely, thanks to the bonus from the 2 Gweis. Did I mention the poor DM? And that's where we left off.